I made it a little better. Hey, good morning. How y'all doing out there? Good morning, good morning. Hope y'all doing well on this fantabulous Friday. We're going to get started here briefly. How y'all doing?
Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So we're going to give everybody a quick opportunity to get on. Know y'all probably out there either working your business or getting on your 9 to 5 right now. So great day to everybody. I'm Eric.
I'm D, y'all.
And we are coming from the Blank Spot Academy today, which is Happy Freedom
Friday.
Happy Freedom Friday.
Freedom Friday, Fabulous Friday.
Financial Freedom Friday.
How y'all
doing? So, hey, check it out, man. So, wanted to do something a little different this morning. We want to talk about some of the issues that people are having concerning finding sublimation, wide format sublimation printers.
Yep.
And it was brought to our attention. That people are having issues not only finding the wide format sublimation printers, but when they find them and they're not the easily just drop your ink in,
right.
Eco Tank, 15,000, 16,600, 16,000 type printers, or what's the 570 F570?
Yeah. The F570 is an actual sublimation printer. So when it comes to the wide format printers, right now, the options that you have for a low cost are you have the workforce printers, which is a cartridge based printer. And so I think the issues that people are having is that they're not educated with those printers and how they're supposed to work for sublimation, because they're not sublimation printers.
Yeah, they're not created. They weren't created for as sublimation printers. They were just created to do regular pigment ink, regular work, regular office work.
Exactly.
But just because it was not created for sublimation printer,
that doesn't mean that you can't use it. Okay, so we have been using us as crafters, we have been using the regular printers for sublimation. Okay. However, when sublimation first, kind of started, you could use, Epson had the printers to where, you didn't have to do a whole lot to keep up with it. Now they have discontinued a lot of those printers to where you have to do more and it costs more to keep that printer printing.
So before we go too much further into that, just want to make sure everybody understands that we're here only to educate. Okay.
Right.
As business owners, it's our responsibility. We have a responsibility as business owners to know the product that we're selling, to know the product and the service that we're offering. It's our responsibility. Now, I don't know what the other business owners are doing out there, and frankly, I don't care. That's not my responsibility. They're not my responsibility. Mm-hmm. But we have a responsibility as business owners to understand the products that we're sharing, understand about the products that we're actually selling. Mm-hmm. And I think it's different levels of business owners. Mm-hmm. You have the business owner that's the educator. You have the business owner that is the instructor. You have the business owner that just want to sell products. And there's nothing wrong with either one of them.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with any of them. But when you find someone who is very committed in making sure other people are successful and doing what they do, then it's going to be important that you connect with them. Now, we understand that as business owners, we need to have customers, or we won't be successful. Not just local customers, but international customers. I say international customers. So the education is important on our part to share with you what we understand and know about the product. So that means that we have to do certain research on products.
Research.
But now, remember, it doesn't matter if you are a hobbyist.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter if you're just taking this as a little way to make money, a side hustle.
Right.
You still have a responsibility as well.
Yep.
So we're not here I'm not here. I don't want to be the subject matter expert. Okay, that I don't want to be that, because if I'm considered the subject matter expert, then what's going to happen is there's going to be an expectation from our customers for us to know everything. And nobody can know everything.
No.
It takes a lot of time just to do the small research on the little things.
Yep.
So it's still your responsibility as the customer / business owner / hobbyist / crafter, designer, whatever your title is your responsibility as well to do your research.
Exactly.
So logging on the calls like this, logging on the videos like this, plugging in to our YouTube and to other educators, YouTubes, because we could think of a couple offhand, that I know my wife follows. I follow because she's following them. That share a lot of good information. Now we're not about to go down a rabbit hole. We're not about to go down a rabbit hole and explain all of this.
No, we're not.
It ain't gonna happen.
We're not about to do
that. That's not what we're here to do.
Before we get started, if you are watching from our YouTube, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and make sure you hit that bell so that you can have the notifications when we come on, because this is going to be a series of information about this particular topic. So you want to make sure that you get the notification. Also, if you are following from any of the other social media handles, make sure you like, follow, and share.
Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, like I said, YouTube, guys. Listen, if you want to know, you got to do your research. And it doesn't mean just listening to us. We always say this, guys, trust but verify. So you can listen to a several different individuals talk about different subjects and topics. Sublimation is still, I'm not gonna say it's I think it's new to a lot of
it's
crafters.
New to a lot of people, but sublimation has been around for a very long time. I've been crafting for 7 years. I've been doing sublimation for 3.
And we know people who've been doing it longer than that.
So it's been around. I just think that it wasn't, we weren't privy to it, meaning that we didn't know about how to transform these printers, into sublimation. We just thinking that we have to buy the actual sublimation printer.
You know what happens though? So, anytime, and I'm this is going to hit home with some people, not to step on anybody's toes, but sometimes it happens. So, hey, transferring or transitioning from an employee to a business owner / entrepreneur, there's a learning curve. And people are a lot of times they're afraid. And I always tell people, even if you're afraid, do it afraid. Well, people are afraid that they're going to mess up. People are afraid that they're going to lose money. People are afraid that they're going to waste money. They're afraid that they're going to break equipment. They're afraid their spouses may not be supporting them. Their partners may not be supporting them. Their family, they're worried about people who are supporting. So they're afraid. So, and that's another topic, another conversation. We're going to talk about business and marriage and all that stuff. But I think a lot of people are afraid, and because they do things in a fearful way to where it makes them more culpable to making mistakes. So if you're already afraid and you start making decisions, then you're gonna do things out of emotions.
All I can say is do it afraid.
Do it
afraid, because you're not gonna know how it's gonna turn out or how you're gonna do it unless you do it. You can't just not do it. You have to do it in order to see how it's going to work. So you have to do it. Do it afraid. Be scared. Because I did. I remember the first time I did sublimation, somebody asked me to put somebody's face on a t-shirt, on a black t-shirt. And I was like, how in the world am I going to do that? And I kept, of course, I was a YouTube person. I watched YouTube.
University.
I did that sublimation on the top of that vinyl on that black shirt. Man, you couldn't tell me nothing.
But listen to what she just said. By definition, guys, sublimation is the heat transfer of ink dye to a poly coating or polyester, high polyester count surface or material. There is no such thing as sublimating on a dark color shirt.
Polyester, otherwise, unless you got something on
unless
it.
you have something on it. So when you sublimate on a darker surface because somebody wants a darker shirt, then that means that you're actually compromising the sublimation process. So that's just the study, the information and the research that I've done on my own. But
we find ways as crafters. We find ways to get things done, and we did. So
yeah.
All right. So we're going to be talking about these printers, these newer printers that we are now using as sublimation printers, right?
And you probably can't see this right here, but I'm gonna bring the guys on TikTok.
So the printer that we have today, we have a 7310. It's a Workforce 7310 printer. Okay, this is a newer printer from Epson. It is a wide format printer. It prints up to 13 by 19 pages, right?
And believe it or not, it replaced the 7210. Which was the last printer that Epson made that had resettable chips
on the cartridge. Yep.
So good morning, Sandra. Thanks for jumping on.
Good morning. Y'all drop y'all city and y'all state. Let us know where you're viewing from. So this right here, this printer right here, the 7840 and the 7820. These printers are almost they're very similar.
Yeah, it's just a couple of things.
It's the same,
a couple of things. Some of them do
some of them do fax, some of them do scan, some of them don't. Okay. So that's really the only difference with these 7310, 7820, and the 7840. Okay. Also, there's one called the C7000, I believe. You can use that one as well. So
do your research. That's just what we just said. Do your research.
Right.
Everything that we're talking about, we want you as the business owner to do your research because you're no longer just an employee, you're a business owner as well. So do your research.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So this printer, in order to turn it into a sublimation printer, it's going to need some.
You're gonna need cartridges. You need the refillable cartridges, okay? Because of course you cannot, the actual cartridges that come in the printer when you first get it, that's just regular ink, like you're printing on paper. You cannot fill those up with sublimation ink. You cannot fill those up. So you have, and this is what I'm talking about right here. This is the actual cartridge that comes inside of the printer.
It says Epson, right?
Okay.
This is the Epson printer cartridge.
You cannot take your sublimation ink and fill this cartridge up.
It's all closed up, y'all.
You can't do that.
You can't do it. It's closed up.
Okay.
So
in that case, you have to purchase refillable cartridges. Okay. Meaning these cartridges right here, you can take and you can put your sublimation ink inside of here. Okay. This cartridge right here is each cartridge has a cartridge number. Okay. This cartridge is a 812. Okay. 812. So with this cartridge right here, you can take that ink, put it in here, and then it'll fit the 7310, the 7840, and the 7820, and also the C7000. It'll fit that printer. Okay. Now,
so hold on. Why is this important to know? The reason why this is important to know, because we have people who are ordering these printers without understanding that you need refillable
right
cartridges. That's
if
the
you're
first
doing
part.
sublimation.
That's the first part.
Right.
Okay. If you need refillable cartridges, but you're also going to need something else to make it work.
Right. Also, I want you guys to see something. These are the refillable cartridges, okay, without the chip. You see this right here? This is the cartridge, okay? I'm trying to get TikTok at the same time. This is the refillable cartridge right here that Eric is and myself, we're holding up.
No, this is the actual cartridge.
The actual cartridge that come in the printer.
Yeah, this is what comes with your printer right here.
You see this little thing right here? This is called a chip. This is how the printer actually reads the cartridge.
In order to print,
you
need to have this chip.
You have to have this. Okay. So you can't take this and just put it directly in and think it's gonna print. It has to have a chip.
Now we're not here to insult anybody's intelligence, and we're definitely not here to embarrass anybody. So we're not gonna call names, but we've had several customers / business owners. And I got to use that word loosely, man, because if you ain't doing your research as a business owner, are you really at that level? You got to know that you're responsible for yourself.
Right.
But we had a lot of customers / business owners order these, right? They ordered these
without the chip
because of the price point. Also because of lack of education, let's call it ignorance about these printers. not understanding that, hey, yeah, we sell these for $29.95.
Right, without the chip.
So without the chip. So when they see these on our website, they say, well, I need these refillable cartridges. I'm going to buy this. And oh, yes, I saved some money.
Mm-hmm.
But when we go back, because we sell this product on Amazon as well.
Yep.
When we go back, just this product, we don't sell the one with the chips, just this product. And this, I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But when we go back and they may contact us, or they may get it in the box, in the package, and they sending it back.
Because they don't understand.
And they're saying, hey, well, this product sucks.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work. You're right. It does suck. It sucks that you didn't do your research. Mm-hmm. It sucks that you don't have a chip and you don't know and didn't pay attention that even when you got these in the original box, that you needed a chip.
It has a chip on it.
So even if you get these without the chips and use your original chips that's in the car and that comes with the ink, with the printer, you can still use these.
You can still use that chip.
But it's a one-time use.
It's always
all
a
of
one-time
them
use. It will not reset like the older printers. It's always a one-time use. And I think that's the thing that people are not understanding with these newer printers. You cannot reset these chips, okay?
Somebody says, okay, so the EcoTank will always be better. Not necessarily.
Well,
it's a preference.
Right, it's a preference.
It's not necessarily that the EcoTank is going to always be better.
You don't have to worry about the cartridges with the EcoTank.
It depends on your level of wanting to do work. It depends on your level of looking at the quality of the prints. Right. It depends on how your prints are coming out, the colors and all that stuff. Right. So it is definitely a preference. Mm-hmm. So if you can find an EcoTank, you're going to save some time. So what I will tell you is that the EcoTank will be more cost effective.
It'll be more cost effective.
Cost effective.
Exactly. However, the problem right now is people are looking for wide format printers.
They're not available.
They're not readily available. They're not readily available. You can readily find the 15,000 printer. So that's why people are going to these workforce printers, because they can't find the wide format EcoTank printers. That's why people are going to these.
Okay. We got somebody jumped on Charles, the Driller Gang smoking. Man, that's a name right there.
That's the name. Hey,
she just got hers Wednesday and it works fine.
Okay, yeah.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank
you for that plug. We appreciate it. Yeah. Because what's once again, it's about educating yourself.
Yep.
It's about educating yourself and not just counting totally on the distributor,
right,
or the person that's selling it. Okay,
these printers will work fine for sublimation, or if you're just doing regular printing for sublimation, they will work. You just have to know how to work it.
Yeah, so
you have to know how to work it.
So for the person, and this is to the person that commented. She said, I like that. I don't know if it's okay, Jala space. I don't want to pronounce your name incorrectly. So, but the person that's on TikTok right now, it's not about whether one's better than the other. Right. That's a personal choice, personal preference. However, it is about how much work you're willing to do. And regardless, unless you're going to be able to find 2 wide format EcoTank printers, you're still going to need a backup to a backup. You're going to need that.
Yep.
Okay, sublimation.
And unless you're going to purchase the Epson F570, the F170, which is a smaller actual form sublimation printer. Yeah. This is what you have, guys.
This is your choice. This is what's available.
The 7310, the 7820, 7840. Okay, this is your choice right now.
We got about 10 minutes before we end this broadcast. Okay, this is just an introduction. Yep. This is just an introduction to what we're going to be talking about coming up, because we want to educate you. Okay, so you first off, you need a chip. So I just wish that the customers that are on our Amazon, that find us on Amazon, I wish they can actually see this. Yeah. You need a chip to print. Okay, with the ink, not toner, but with ink, you need a chip. Okay,
you always need a chip.
It has to be some type of communication. And you would be surprised. You would be surprised the comments that we get, the strokes that we get from people. Because they want to do this. They want to blame. Listen, guys, I want you to understand. Once you decide to become a business owner, you can call it a side hustle. You can be crafting. You could be a hobbyist, whatever you want to do. Once you decide to do something other than working a job for somebody else punching the clock, once you decide to do that, you took on the responsibility for doing the research and knowing for yourself. We are not responsible for your education. I'm gonna say that again, just in case the people in the back did not hear it.
Listen.
We are not responsible for your education. However, it's gonna benefit us if we share with you.
We're gonna share. We're gonna share as much as we possibly can. You know, when people purchase these cartridges without the chip or with the chip, we actually have a little flyer here.
Because you did a video. Okay. You did a YouTube video on it.
Did a YouTube video, and we put a flyer in each package. Okay. On this flyer, it's going to tell you, okay, the chips are available. It's going to have a YouTube link so that you can go to see how to put these chips on and actually to get to our YouTube channel, you know, all together, because there's a lot of information that we put out regarding these printers. So everyone gets this, okay, so that you know where to go for more information about these cartridges. Okay.
Okay. So she said it's Kay. Okay, Kay. Cool.
Hi, Kay.
Joyce, Jila. I'm sorry, Jila is
all
her
right.
daughter. Okay, so cool. So now you know it is your responsibility.
It's your responsibility.
We got to stop blaming each other, because a lot of times what happens is when we're transitioning, or in the process of transitioning from being an employee to a business owner, we're looking for fingers to point. Like I said, you don't understand the strokes that we get on a regular basis. That's not going to stop us from being in business.
We just going to keep educating. We're going to keep getting on that YouTube.
It is frustrating sometimes, because
it gets frustrating.
You're thinking that you're dealing with business owners, but you're dealing with people who own businesses. Somebody will get that in a minute. We ain't really not always dealing with business owners. We're dealing with people who say, hey, I can make a lot of money, I heard, so I'm just going to get this equipment. I'm gonna put it to some use, and then I'm gonna blame or badger somebody. You're not badgering Best Buy. You're not badgering Walmart. You're not badgering Amazon or Target. You're not badgering those guys. But when it comes to a smaller business, somebody who's local or who's family owned, somewhere along the line, people get that courage. They think that they can say anything, do anything, but it still doesn't erase the fact that it's still your responsibility.
It's still your responsibility. And even though we're a small business, we're gonna operate as a corporation.
It's smaller.
So
business,
we're gonna do the same thing that Walmart will do, or or Amazon. We're gonna cooperate the same way that they cooperate.
So we're
gonna cooperate professionally.
You got to educate yourself. You don't know how many of these papers that we got back.
Yes.
You don't know how many that we got back that were not even used to actually set it up
to educate.
We've had people say, so let's go a little bit further. We got about 6 more minutes. So let's go a little further. So let's say somebody buys the cartridges, because it's cartridges and then there's chips and then there's cartridges with chips. Right. So let's say somebody buys the refillable cartridges without chips. They buy these and they find out that they need chips. Yeah. Well, guess what? We sell these already put together. Yep. With chips.
We sell them put together.
We also sell them separately. So you don't have to keep on buying the cartridges.
You can get just the chips separately.
So when somebody says that the cartridges suck, it's a bad product, every now and again we will sell someone an empty cartridge with no chip that may be defective.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
If it leaks,
it's a machine.
Yeah, thing, if it leaks, it happens. We guess what happens? We replace it. We send them a replacement. Exactly. However, 9 times out of 10, there's nothing wrong with these, and they are going to hold the ink and they're fine. Talk about. Why don't you talk about briefly when they fill these up, them having to
okay, so guys,
remove the.
Listen,
plug.
when you first get these cartridges, you fill it up, you get ready to make sure you put it in the printer, you're ready to print. You see this little it's a little
rubber plug.
This little rubber plug right here.
It's a little rubber plug. It's opposite of the color tab.
This rubber plug you have to remove. This is your vent plug. You have to remove this plug. If you do not remove this plug, when you start to print, you're going to print blank pages. Yeah. Okay, you're going to print blank pages. So if you're having that issue, look at your cartridge and you probably still have that plug still in there. You have to remove that before you print.
So a lot of times what happens is we're so excited to get started. we don't watch the video. Because my wife did a series of 3 videos, and then she talked about how to actually put these together, replace the chips, and how to initialize it using the initial cartridges to initialize it, to talk to the printer first, because that will make it easier when you put these in to marry with the printer. So you want to use the originals to initialize first, and then
that's what we recommend. Now you don't have to. You don't have to.
You won't do.
But that's just something that we recommend. We think it'll make it read the off market chips faster.
So what happens is, now once you've done that, you got to understand everything here is closed up.
Yep.
Well, here there's holes, so that vent plug needs to be open so it can actually circulate
the ink.
Your hose, your lines, your printer lines, and I just want to break it. Yeah, it's going to get clogged with air.
Yep.
It's actually getting a lot of air in there, and when there's air in there, it won't print.
Or the print lines. Okay, so and when that happens, of course, now you're clogged.
The other thing is, now once you get clogged, you have to go through another process and procedure, and we'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that. Yeah.
But you got to go through other processes and procedures, and I want you to understand something. These chips are very similar to these chips, meaning this, because these are one-time uses. Because these are one-time uses on chips. Once you have printed so many times, and we don't know how many it is, because I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Listen, we do not know how many prints is on this chip. Okay.
But once you get to that point,
right? People think that it's all about the ink that's in the printer. We can put these in the cartridge. We can put this empty cartridge in the printer right now, and it's going to read full of ink. But there's empty. It's not about the what's in the cartridge. The ink that's in the cartridge. It's about how many prints on the chip.
So every time the printer goes through the process of printing, whether it is a print head check, a print head cleaning, whether it is a nozzle check, whether it is a push air through,
it's going to count.
Because it's clogged, it's counting.
It's going to count.
There's
as a print.
An invisible counter on that chip. So let's say, just for example, that these chips only have 25 prints or processes. Like Dorothy said, like Dee said, if this is halfway full after 25, and all it's going to give you is 25, then guess what happens? You got to replace the.
It's done. You can't refill the ink and think that you're going to get more prints on that chip. It's not going to work.
Man, we got 1 minute, man.
All right, guys. So we got a couple minutes.
1 minute.
1 minute.
It's a wrap.
1
it's
minute.
A wrap.
So we're gonna be back. This is just the start of the series. We just kind of wanted to break it down. We're gonna come back on and do a couple things about maintenance, about if you had initialization, if you kept the vent plug in. Now what do I do because it's clogged? And I'm also going to show you guys how to replace the chip. So with our chips, they come on the clip already. So I'm gonna show you how to put the clip on. It's not dealing with the actual chip
itself.
We have ours already on the clip, and I'll show you guys how to put that on.
We're also going to talk about how the Epson's updates, the firmware updates, can actually kill your chips. Okay, because it's not intended for us to use as a sublimation printer. So they're sending updates out, and those updates are not for your sublimation use. They're for pigment use. So just remember, like it, share it, tag it. YouTube, guys, hit us up on the YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us on the Blank Spot Academy. Everything's the Blank Spot. You can hit us Blank Spot Academy. And you can also follow us on TikTok, because we are going to be doing live videos about this. This is a series. We want to make sure people understand, if you want to purchase some of these chips, like our girl Charzay, the driller gang, smoking on them dead ops.
I love it.
You can go to our blankspot.com. Go to the sublimation ink and
it'll say sublimation ink, pigment ink, and cartridges. You want to go to that tab, and then you want to look for 812 cartridges, and you'll have the option.
You have the option to buy chips only. You have the option to buy cartridges only, or you have the option to buy with chips. Okay. Check out our prices. Check out everything. We're going to send you one of those little cards to show you how to watch the video. And we got our business card in there, phone number, all that good stuff, email, and all that good stuff. But check this out. I'm going to leave you with this. It's easier to just take somebody's word for it, or you can actually verify what they're saying.
Yep.
So Miss Sandra, go ahead and
says
order
I
some
have
more
to
of
order
chips.
just chips. Yes, ma'am. We have the chips are available.
And appreciate y'all's time.
Yep.
Like, share, tag somebody. And if you got some value out of this, please leave a comment and share with your friends. It's about educating yourself because we are business owners and we're responsible for our own businesses.
Yep.
So this is Eric.
And I'm D, y'all.
Happy Financial Freedom Friday. You guys take care and have a great one.
Talk to y'all later.